The title of this thesis is The Legend of Mulan, a journey across continents, cultures, and generations. In 1998, Mulan, the Disney animated film that made me discover Chinese culture, was released in cinemas. The purpose of this thesis is to analyze the thousand-year journey of this fascinating Chinese heroine and to offer a reflection on the stereotyping proposed by the American multinational. The legend first appears in a 6th century AD poem entitled The Ballad of Mulan. The story described in the poem is rather simple and briefly recounts the story of Mulan who, as a woman and daughter, becomes a warrior and goes into the battle in her father's place, out of filial piety, the highest virtue among Confucian values. She then participated in a 12-year-long war, at the end of which she renounced the emperor's honor and returned home to her family, where she becomes a woman again. The ballad does not explain Mulan's family background, her military performance, her personal life before her departure, and after her return home. Over the centuries, the story has been adapted many times, adding new details. However, even if the meaning of the ballad changes according to the historical and cultural context in which it is told, the basic structure remains unchanged, and thanks to its versatility, the legend was passed on for centuries until it caught the attention of the world's most influential film company, the Walt Disney Company. For the Disney, Mulan represented an excellent opportunity, both economically and politically. It would have allowed them to expand their market in Asia and regain favor with China after the souring of Chinese-American relations caused by the so-called Canton accident. The film is an animated masterpiece that certainly contributes to the heroine's worldwide fame. The result, however, is inevitably an hybrid product, halfway between East War and West War. Comparison between the Oriental Mulan and the period Western Mulan, created by Disney in 1998 and then repurposed in the 2020 live-action remake, is the focus of my work. Most of Disney's products are based on myths, fairy tales, and legends that are modified, improved, and innovated, enacting transculturation, a process in which culture is transformed by another in order to self-celebrate. Contextualization is crucial to make stories convincing and credible. In Mulan, for example, the story is set among unique cultural icons such as the Great Wall, the Forbidden City, Tiananmen Square, pavilions, and temples, but is deprived of values and thus of the original character. It is thus Americanized, globalized. The comparison between the two films and the Ballad of Mulan, it can be seen that in the process of transculturation, the Confucianism, the filial piety, and collective feminism of the original version are buried and replaced by purely Western themes such as hyper-individualism, romanticism, and individual feminism. Mulan is in fact just one more example of the multinational corporation trademark, the Disney formula. The repetitive approach was introduced by Walt Disney and allegedly developed by Michael Eisner, the company's CEO from 1984 to 2005. The model that is Levis proposed is based on four stereotypes. Individualism. In both films, for example, the search for self is the real focus of the story, and is almost only the heroine's effort that defeats the enemies and saves China. Inevitable triumph for good over evil, usually substantiated by the persistence of the visual metaphor that leads the audience to an easy distinction between heroes and villains. The villains are identifiable because they are characterized by dark colors and also oversights compared to the heroes. Younger romanticism. For example, in 1998 animated feature film, like any other hero, Mulan is destined to have a Prince Charming at her side as she is engaged in her adventure to find herself and maintain her family's honor. The inclusion of cute and friendly animals to help the hero. These are charming to younger viewers and comics interest for adults. Often the cartoon characters are dubbed by famous actors. For example, the comedian Eddie Murphy dubbed the cute dragon Mushu, while actor Jackie Chan dubbed Captain Li Shang in the Mandarin Chinese and Cantonese Chinese versions. Themes and addiction like this are hardly acceptable for the culturally distant audience of the Chinese spectators. Despite the unquestionable technical success and the box office success, the films were two missed opportunities in terms of the cultural aspect. Instead of using the feature film to raise awareness of Chinese tradition and culture around the world, the American company merely gave a superficial portrayal of China, relegating Chinese identity to Oriental custom and wuxia-style choreography. For Chinese viewers, both films did not respect the depth of their culture and the historical context of the ballad. The result is a product that has undergone numerous cultural distortions, from which the story of a young girl rebelling against the misogynistic and deeply patriarchal China unintentionally emerges. On the other hand, learning a civilization is a very long and insidious process. The question then arises whether the appropriation and deformation of another's culture is justifiable for economic purpose alone.